I used to pride myself on being a robot, not showing emotion, not expressing emotion, strength in the consistency, in the grind. But something has changed over the last year or so. And I want to talk about what has actually shifted in my perspective here and why I think this is actually a really bad strategy. And it's actually one of the patterns that continues to show up in clients that I work with. And so, I read all like the stoicism books, self-improvement books, and the argument sounds valid. It sounds strong, right? You want to be consistent. If you show your emotions, it's weakness. It gets in the way of doing the work that we need to do. One of the biggest things is like, yeah, if I don't, or if I listen to my body, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to work today, like I'm getting in the way of doing the work that I know I should be doing, right? And the funny part about this is, I listened to all the Alex Hormozy videos, and this was so big in like self-improvement space a couple years ago, all of the stoicism advice. And as I went through my life and started to get more in tune with the resistance that I was feeling and setting goals and trying to hit them and seeing, why am I not hitting these goals? Like, what is stopping me? Why do I keep avoiding doing this work? Where is this resistance coming from? And I kept pushing away from that. Like, oh, I need a better system. I spend so much time on like habits and systems and trying to optimize my productivity, all to avoid what was at the root of all of this, which was fear. And so the funny part about this is that work, the work that we think the work that we know we need to do, that we think if we just listen to our body, if we express our emotions, if we listen to our feelings, it'll get in the way of doing the work that we need to do. Yet the avoidance, the procrastination that you go through, the scrolling, the late night scrolling, is literally an emotional response to a feeling that you are avoiding feeling. And so if you're trying to be disciplined and stoic and just push through and be consistent, and yet you are procrastinating, feeling numb, feeling this resistance towards doing this, exposure work, or, sending a message, or doing, looping and ChatGPT. It's literally, emotions are at the root of this. Like, it is literally a feeling. Like, this is the irony of all of this. And so I continue to see this in the clients that I work with, really high performers, founders, successful 9-to-5ers, people who's like life looks good on paper, but who's just like, they come to me with these problems of like, oh, time management, impulse control, systems, habits, life clarity, career direction. And then when we start to unpack the layers underneath these things, what I frequently find is there's an emotional experience, a root that has not been, held and seen, that is guiding all of this. And I worked with one successful founder. I don't want to get too into the weeds of and expose too much about the clients that I work with, but a lot of this comes down to like childhood emotional experiences, depression, struggles with love, parents, family, your household growing up. Like, all of this has an impact. And so what's really interesting is that we think these like, oh, I just need better habits. I need a better system. I just need better impulse control. I need to I need to brick my phone. And yet these people, very high performers, are coming to me stuck, numb, and there's always something deeper. The pattern that I see is all of these very successful people are struggling to tap into and feel an underlying feeling in their body. They are avoiding a feeling. And so if you've been on a coaching call with me, you kind of know the time and space that I take around some of these questions, around emotions, around feelings, and giving these time to breathe and like tap into the body and not just stay up in the mind, because this is what we frequently do as these like high achiever types, is like intellectualize everything, analyze everything. And yet all of the answers that we're looking for are stored in our bodies. And so I want to talk about what I think the ideal situation here is, which is we use our emotions, our feelings, which are literally like, all of you that are trying to work up against emotions and feelings. Like you're literally trying to tackle a problem that goes back 200 million years. 200 million years. Like emotions are so core to our bodies and our biology, and you're trying to override that with, oh, bro, I just need to lock in and be more disciplined. Like, really? And so if we understand the biology here, that emotions are core to our beings, and understand that we are feeling creatures that can think, we are not thinking creatures that can feel, right? We are feeling creatures. When we understand that, we can start to think, okay, because there is a downside in always listening to our feelings. Oh, I'm tired today, so I'm not going to show up, right? If you consistently did that, you would never amount to anything, right? But there's a middle ground here where we start to use emotions and feelings as data. So we think through the problems rationally, but we also tap into, how's my body feeling about this? What feels right here? Where am I feeling fear? I'm feeling that stomach tension. I'm feeling some fear. That's a good sign. I'm heading in the right direction, right? You know, taking on a client or business decision. Just my gut, just like something doesn't feel right. Right? That's an indicator of data that we can use in our decision making. Not say, okay, how I feel right now is everything, but starting to integrate it into our decision-making process. And I think that is the ideal, that we start to tap into how our body is feeling about these situations, and not, hand over 100% control to them, which I feel like is the thing that we are fearing happens when we start to listen to our emotions and express our feelings and emotions. And what I really see is this like hyper stoicism approach online of like, oh, showing emotions is weakness, it's vulnerability. But I want to close out this video by saying, like, look at the people that you are listening to and taking advice from online, and like, do you want their lives? Because like, I'm not gonna name names, but there are people on there online that are like all hustle, all business, and it's like they are 100% stoic, like never laugh, never cry, never show any emotions. And like, do you want that? Like, you're a human being. You have the ability to cry, to have anger, fear, sadness, to be joyous and happy. Like, when you're 60, when you're 80, do you want to look back on a life where you're just like, man, I was just so like dull back there. My life was so dull. And part of why I wanted to make this video was looking back at my own videos and watching. If you watch some of my videos and you watch to the end, a lot of them I put bloopers in, and that is like the raw, authentic expression of me, right? I was watching some of my past videos from even just a year ago and watching my bloopers, which for me is like the most honest, raw expression. Like, you're at the end of the video. If you're still watching, like, I really appreciate you for still being there. But like, I don't need to worry about retention or anything like call to action. Like, this is just like for fun, you know? And just watching some of my old bloopers is like just so dull. Hopefully my brain can kind of turn on here. It is a beautiful day. It's been kind of cloudy the last couple of days. Does that even have anything to do with this? I don't know, leveraging. I don't know what I'm talking about. I hate perfectionism. And then I look at some of the videos that I posted lately, and it's just like the difference is night and day. Where my perfectionism is just, one shot, one opportunity. I feel like a horse. Help me. Just lock in, bro. Just lock in. I gotta be bothered. Somebody call the police. What did she tell you? And now traveling the van in my country. I graduated. Smile like you're having fun. And if you've watched my video on, I think I called it why I scrapped my 10-year plan, what happened in Bali. A lot of this was changed from my experience in Bali. And what happened there was an emotional, like all emotional work around what are my fears, unlocking, tapping into my fears, a lot of crying, a lot of emotional expressiveness. Like that is literally what has changed. And so if you look back at me and my videos a year ago and see me now, know that what has changed was emotional work. And I'll leave it at that. That's all I got for you in this video. See you in the next one.